Hello, everyone. This is Eric from Etacude, and welcome to today's topic. Today's live stream is all about dice games for the English classroom. I'll just wait a second for some of the people to join. As you can see, I'm wearing this hat, but it's not Christmas yet. I've just finished with the video for Christmas. 10 Christmas activities you can use in the English classroom. And it was a fun video. It should come out this Wednesday. Just give a second for people to come in. You can maybe skip ahead. You can maybe skip ahead a few minutes until then. I usually start earlier so that I can. Oh, I forgot something. Give me a second. No, not this one. Yeah, you can definitely skip ahead a little bit. I'm just going to plug this in. Just give me a second. Hi, can you hear me better now? I hope this works. I'll just plug this in here. Like this. Maybe this side. Okay, welcome everyone. So today I'm going to talk about dice games you can play in the English class. Now, usually I've got a big dice, a big spongy dice that students can throw in the classroom. It's soft, so you're not going to hurt anyone. But I left that at the office. Fortunately, I've got some spares here that we can use. A pair of smaller dice, also squishy. The one I like though is bigger so that students can play with it and you can throw it around. You can use it for a lot of things, like if you want to ask a student a question, you can throw the dice to them, they'll catch it and they can answer. But today I want to focus on some games that you can review class with. So no one has come in yet. So I'll just chat for a little bit. Yeah, I've had a good weekend. You know, it's one of those weekends where I planned to do some videos, but time just got away from me. You know, Friday did some work. Saturday went to the gym, and then after gym I ate lunch, and then I thought, okay, well, I'm supposed to make these videos. I did some research, looked up a few things, but yeah, I didn't shoot the videos, so that's why today I went to church, and after church came back, and I shot the one video. I still need to do some more in the future. Yeah, it makes me think of this book I read. You know, the War on Art. I think the writer's name is Stephen Pressfield, if I'm not mistaken. But it's a very interesting book, and it's all about how people have this resistance to doing something. Especially, you know, it can be work, it can be business, it can be homework, it can be chores, anything. We've got this internal resistance to doing these things, you know. And sometimes we create these excuses, but ultimately you've got to do it. And, you know, there are different ways that you can actually break through the resistance. But in my case, I just had to do it. When there was no other excuses, I told myself, Eric, you've got the time, you've got everything planned. It's just up to you to stand in front of that camera and talk. And you know, it can be a scary feeling breaking through that resistance, but once you've done it, you just feel a sense of relief. So yeah, just got to do it. In the book, they talk about this. There's this one writer, and he wrote hundreds of books throughout his life. And someone once asked someone asked the writer, how do you do it? How do you write all these books? Where do you get the inspiration? And the man said that every morning at 9 o'clock, he sits down and he just starts writing. And he said, fortunately, at 9 o'clock every morning, inspiration hit me. And it just shows you, you know, that if there is a barrier in your life, something you have to do, you just got to do it somehow. You got to find that motivation, you got to find that willpower to do it. Hi, we've got our first watcher. Who am I talking to? I know usually I start a little bit earlier, just to start talking and get into the rhythm of explaining things. Yeah, today I'm going to talk about NASA. Good to see you. You're early. How are you doing today? Yeah, I was just talking about what I've been doing this weekend. I'm going to start soon. I've been thinking about these live streams, and I say too much. But what I'll do is I've got five ideas for games that we can play with dice. I will explain one game and then I'll take a short break and talk about things. Okay, cool. Yeah, so if you have a question or if you want to share anything, man, you've got great ideas, so just leave them out there. Okay, so the first game you can play with dice. Dice, it's a really good tool to have in the classroom. I've usually got a bigger dice, very spongy, that you can throw around and kids can't hurt themselves with. Now, the first game I would like to show you is great for reviewing, a lesson or vocabulary or grammar. It could be anything. So what you do is you create a board game on the board. It also helps if you've got a lot of magnets for the teams or for the students. And then they throw the dice. If it's a 1, you move on and you try and get to the finish line. What's great is you can put some obstacles in the way, some minuses or some special events. Once they land on it, they have to do a dance or they have to sing something. So what you do is you ask the students a question, they raise their hands, or you can go from group to group and they have to answer a question you have about the work you've done. And then they get to throw the dice and they try and get to the finish line. Why this is great is because it gives every student a chance to win. Normally, we've got those students that have all the right answers. They're always answering quickly, and that means you don't have one student just winning everything. This way, it makes it a bit more random. Also, if you give each student a chance to do it, if you go through the class or through each group, every group has to do it. Yeah, I think the students love this. And if you work with younger students, you can have some bags of candy. I mean, to give out a couple of candies at the end of class doesn't mean a lot, especially if it gets them motivated. With all the students, they just like finishing. They like to be number one. Okay, yeah. How have you been doing? I've just been saying that I just finished another video on Christmas classes. That's why I've got this. I just finished a video on 10 activities we can do for Christmas, and yeah, it's an exciting time of year. Let's put this away. It's an exciting time of year because I'm going. It's almost the end of the year, so it's almost vacation time. Students have tests ahead of them, and teachers just have to check that they prepared the students well enough. Yeah. Okay. Anytime you want to add something, you can add it in there. Let me just put the comments on live chat. All are visible. Okay, good. Okay, and now the second game, number 2. This is a really fun one. I love doing this because, playing with these dice, it's all up to your imagination. You can do basically anything with it. What I like to do here is also a good review activity is you ask the students a question. Once they answer, they get to throw. So all of the students start at here, and then they have to go around. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They have to go in a circle, right? So I start with 2 or 3 points per team, and then if they land on 1, +1. If they land on the sword, don't laugh at my drawing. I know I'm not very good at drawing, but then you get to attack the other team and minus. It's really fun if you've got perhaps 4 different teams. So it's not just one team versus the other one. It's better if you have a couple of teams. So, they try and see who's ahead and who should they attack. There's a little bit of strategy involved. Let me just make team 3 and team 4 to make it clear. Yeah, once we see these games, we should just use it in the classroom. Think of any way that we can challenge our students to have fun. +1. This bomb means that you lose a point. +2, they love landing on this. And then you should have some kind of joker. Like this one, for example, you can switch points with another team. This is really fun. You see it going down to the wire each time. Yeah, well, I say I'll put them into teams. If you only have a couple of students, then it's fine. But you want to make teams so that students feel like they're working in a team and they're helping each other or they're fighting for something. Okay. Yeah, how was your week? While I'm erasing this, have you been doing well? Last week, what I did? Yeah, just a normal class. Preparing the students. They've got a group presentation coming up, and yeah, I'm excited to get through this year. I've got some plans. Well, I still need to make plans for my vacation, but otherwise I'm just gonna make more videos and try and get more content out there. I've got some ideas of what I want to make. Okay, now the next one. Number 3, the third dice game you can make is if you've got a big whiteboard, you make big blocks everywhere, and each block can have a different number attached to it. And if you've got that big spongy one, let's say you've got a big whiteboard and you give the student the big spongy dice and you put them in front of the board. They have to throw it, and once they hit something, they get those points, and then you erase that one. So you've got, let's say you've got like 50 squares up there, and they throw it and they hit it. Then you tally up the marks, final team wins. It's also a really fun one because it keeps the students active, and that's what you want, especially with younger students, but this works with all ages. I've seen it work with young kids, teenagers, college students. I haven't tried this with adults yet, but I think it could be interesting, but I wouldn't push it that far. Like I said, you should start. The only way to get creative is to practice being more creative in class. Okay, now the fourth game. I'm going to share the fourth game right now. The fourth game is if you've got a dice and you want to do some kind of speaking game, what you do is you give each number a question. For example, if they roll the dice in their group, you can also have smaller dice that you use for groups with a few students in each. They roll the dice, and if it lands on 1, they have to answer, if you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go? If you land on a 2, you can do something like, if you were stranded on a deserted island, what would you take with you? 3 could be, if you only ate one food for the rest of your life, what food would that be, and also why? I would also encourage the rest of the group to ask them a question about that, right? Or to give a comment, because we want to train our students to ask follow-up questions and also to give their own input on these answers. Okay, let me shift this a little bit. Okay, number 4 could be, if you had $1 million, what would you do? Number 5 could be, if you could meet any fictional character, which character would you like to meet? And then number 6 could be, if you found a magic lamp, what 3 things would you wish for? You can do other things too, like what superpower do you want? Any questions, really. You can also use it with grammar. Okay, it seems like everybody's busy tonight. Yeah, what have I been doing recently? Yeah, I'm just preparing today. Yeah, it's kind of weird talking to myself. Usually I have a lot of ideas and things to talk about, but this is just the dice game today. Okay, and then dice game number 5 that you can do is put the students into a group, or if you don't have a lot of students, they can just do it. You ask the students to make a story. So in a circle, a student throws a 1, they have to add 1 word. So and then they have to add 2 more words. big monster if they threw a 2. If they threw 5, ate my candy, I was. So then you go in a circle and you have to make a story. To help them out, you can have one student dedicated to just writing down the story. You can also put a limit on the story. Make it a 50-word story where the students have to make a story using 50 words. Once they're done, they can share it with the class. This might take a couple of tries, but once the students understand it, they'll really enjoy it. Yeah, those are the 5 dice games I could quickly think of that I wanted to share with you that I've done in the classroom that I've been successful. If you have any dice games, put it in the comments below. Like I said before, as teachers, we should try to be more creative, and we can test our students that way. Being creative is all a matter of just practicing different things, and it's good if you can get more ideas to use too. I would also want to encourage you to get to practice getting the students more active, have more interactive classes. Hi, who do we have here? We want to encourage our students to be more interactive in class, to have fun and to walk around. Like, for example, I was talking about doing a board game in the class and using dice for it. Perhaps you can get the students to stand at a place and they have to get around and they can take 1 step, or how many steps they can throw with the dice. With the board game too, 6 might be too much. So what you could do is 1 and 4 is only 1, 2 and 5 are 2, and 3 and 6 is 3. Yeah, who am I talking to? Who's the last person here? I feel today it's a bit lonely. Today is my 5th live stream, and I've really enjoyed it because I get to talk to people. But yeah, I'll definitely keep on doing it. I hope that I can share a little bit more in these live streams, and I should stop using to practice. Yeah, who am I talking to? Is there someone there? Okay. Okay, well, yeah, today was a quick explanation, so let me just review very quickly. 5 dice games you can use in the class. Number 1 is a board game that you draw on the board and students have to go around. Number 2, it's you can go back in the video and see it. Oh, Naza, it's you. Okay, number 2 was you have the circle where the students can get points or minus. Number 3, you have a big board and you put squares on there with different points and you throw the dice at it. Number 4, you can have different questions for each number as you go around. And number 5, students can make a story. They throw the dice and they have to add a word to make a complete story, and you can give a total for it. Maybe they have to add up to 50. Okay, Nazar, do you have anything to share? I think that's about all the ideas I have for dice games. How was your week, by the way? I feel like I'd like to chat to you guys more, but it's difficult to make that connection just over video. Oh yeah, look at my beard. Well, I hope I don't know if that'll help you, if any of the things will help you. Maybe if some of the other people watch it, maybe they'll get some ideas. But yeah, I think we should share more ideas for teachers. I was talking before to someone talking about kindergartners, how they teach kindergartners in a completely different way, and I want to take some of those techniques, maybe refine them for older students. Okay, Nazar, it's just been you today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate any time anybody puts in here. It's always nice to know that you guys are out there, but I understand that many people are busy. So yeah, I just want to say thanks for always being here. And to anyone else who watches this video a little bit later, yeah, I'm happy for that too. Sorry, I don't have more ideas and more things to talk about. I think it's something I need to practice too. We've got one more here. Who's that? What about let me drag this on a little bit. What are you doing this week? Is anything special happening? Jiang. You're not too late. I'm about to say goodbye now. Not a lot of people joined, mostly NASA. Yeah, thank you for joining at the end too. This is my one for Christmas. I think it suits me. I should start growing a beard perhaps. Yeah, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I don't want to waste any more time if I don't have any ideas to talk about. Yeah, this next week I've just got normal class and I'll bring out that video on Wednesday. And I'll also shoot a couple of videos too. Think about some, yeah, I think definitely problem-based activities. It's something I'll think about doing. Project-based learning is a video I've been thinking about for a while now. I'll start scripting it and looking for ideas. Another one I'd like to do is total physical response, and then, like you said, problem-based learning is so important for learners. Yeah, Naza, thank you so much. Chuyang, thank you for being here. It's nice to see your name there. I know I can't see you. Guys, have a fantastic weekend. I think I'm going to sign off now. Next week I'll have some more ideas. Yeah, have a good week, and let me know next week how it went. If you used any interesting techniques in your classroom. Okay, guys, this is me, and I'll see you next time. Have a good week.